in a penthouse in New York. Then on top of that, I got the Secret Service calling me 5 times. I don't know, God. Politics, I don't know nothing. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Listen, I had a bad that I've been trying to get on for like the last 3 years, the last 2 years that I haven't spoke to in like a year. I haven't spoke to this girl in so goddamn long who gonna have the audacity to text me, we need you a part of the campaign. At first I was thinking she was talking about like a game, a video game, like a Modern Warfare game, or some shit. Or if not that, a clothing brand. I'm like, what campaign? Shorty gonna say, we're not gonna get into details. Say it right now. If there's some way, somehow, something was to go into where I do the stream of politics, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to sit on my stream and say, why did you guys call me? Like, I don't know. I've never did anything with politics. And these blogs are like trying to say, yo, we gotta do the shit, Kai. And it's all the top blogs. And I'm like, bro, since when?
So that was big time streamer Kai Cenat, who apparently has received some calls from Kamala Harris's campaign to do a stream with her, because obviously the stream with Donald Trump and Aiden Ross has gone absolutely viral. The stream itself received over 500,000 views, and then a lot of other streamers were also streaming that stream. So that video, that stream has been seen by millions upon millions of people. And so the Kamala Harris campaign, tried to one up Trump and go with Kai Cenat. But Kai isn't into politics. And I respect him. I respect his opinion and him saying, yo, I don't know nothing about politics. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have any parts of this. I respect it. But I also want to play for you what the Breakfast Club had to say in light of Kai Cenat's video, the video clip that I just showed you, going absolutely viral. Because that clip went absolutely viral. It was all across social media. Every, big Instagram page was posting the video and people giving their opinions on it all and everything. Well, check out what the Breakfast Club had to say.
Kai, hit me and tell me who sent you that text, man. Because whoever on Vice President Kamala Harris' team hit Kai Cenat to do a live stream, they need to be fired. Okay, stop letting social media run her campaign. You saw Trump go on Aiden Ross, and you saw the attention that garnered. You saw the headlines that got. You saw social media start saying the vice president needs to go on Kai Cenat, and you ran to go make that happen. Not even stopping to think, is this organic? Does Kai Cenat even care about politics? You know why?
Does he even know anything about it? Have questions? He might be supportive of Trump. We don't know.
No, he's not supportive of Trump. Cut it out.
You don't know who he supports.
I know he don't support no Trump. You know why the Trump Aiden Ross stream worked? Because Aiden Ross had real interest in Donald Trump. And I do believe politicians should absolutely meet people where they are, but it still has to make sense. Let it be something organic. There is a lot of places the VP can go to get in front of a younger audience. There are influencers Kai age, I don't know. Like I said, I'm all for meeting people where they are, but it also has to make sense.
But Kai Cenat has I've never heard Kai Cenat mention politics one time. Not even talk about it at all.
No.
So we don't know what his interests are, what he cares about, what he likes. Not at all. We know he's the biggest streamer, but besides that, he's never mentioned politics.
If the vice president was to run the Kai now, she would just look like she's copying Trump. Mm-hmm. You know who I want to see the vice president sit with? I want to see the vice president sit with the 85 South show. Mm-hmm. I think that would be a great organic kickback. I believe Carlos, Chico, and DC would have a real honest conversation with her, and we would love that for the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, by the way. Kamala should tap in with somebody like that kid, what's his name? Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson, I think his name is. He's all in on the Harris Walz campaign. I love Kai, but sending the VP to Kai just because Trump went to Aiden Ross, that's corny.
I'll pull up here at the Breakfast Club.
No, send
Yes.
the VP in her silk press someplace that doesn't look like she's copying Trump.
See, the problem with, he was talking about doing something organic. The problem is nothing is organic. And I'll probably make a video on that later on, explaining, you know, everything about that, because there's a lot of charades going on. And, you know, I just want to, I'll say this, because like I said, I'll probably make a video on this. Don't be discouraged. I don't care what you see, what you hear. Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged by everything that you're seeing and everything that you're hearing. I'll leave it at that, because I'll probably make a video on it. I don't want to have to touch on it twice. It doesn't really make sense. All right. But yeah, the Kamala Harris campaign is trying to pay people indirectly, of course, because obviously it's illegal to directly, you know, pay people from, you know, her campaign. So obviously that's going through different organizations that, you know, the same way that we found out about Harry Sisson, right? I know people try to accuse me of being paid by Republicans. Boy, I wish I was. That stuff has to be filed and documented. Okay, so when people try to accuse me of being paid by Trump, this is absolutely ridiculous. Trump's got indictment after indictment, and you think he's gonna risk being indicted again, which they would indict him, and try to, you know, throw him in prison for 100 years for paying little old me? Come on, that doesn't even make sense. From that perspective. But then also, if, you know, a campaign were to be paying me, that would all have to be documented, you know, through a separate organization. So anybody would be able to find it, like we all did the Harry Sisson situation. So no, I'm not being paid. I wish I was. Make no mistake about it. I would love an extra check, baby. Okay, you seen these gas prices? Okay then, you know, yes please. You know, but check out this video clip from CBS, actually telling the truth for once.
Perhaps you've noticed our social media feeds are now a battleground in the race for the White House. And in this space, Democrats have deployed influencers to win over voters online. In tonight's Eye on America, Jolene Kent reveals their sophisticated and expensive tactics.
Look at the volume in this hair.
23-year-old Awasane made a name for herself dispensing beauty tips on TikTok.
I just peed in the White House.
So when she posted this video of her White House bathroom break, her 500,000 followers took notice.
I was just shocked. I was like, did you guys see that marble?
Sane, who met us in Houston, was one of a few dozen influencers invited to the White House to watch the State of the Union and meet President Biden.
He said to us, the collective presence in this room has more viewership on Gen Z than all of traditional media combined. So here's my birth control vlog.
It was this viral video she posted after the fall of Roe v. Wade
Over the United States in my uterus.
that initially caught the attention of a Democratic super PAC. On the right, Turning Point USA has mobilized influencers for years, raising nearly $200 million since 2020.
You realize they're coming for you guys next.
Now, Democratic organizations are flooding the creator community with cash and providing behind-the-scenes access.
Come with me to meet the President of the United States.
We just have to be working with them. And if we're not, we're missing a huge way that voters are getting information about the world.
Rob Flaherty runs digital strategy, previously in the Biden White House and now for the Harris campaign.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
He called the highly memeable Harris a massive asset as the campaign reaches out to thousands of influencers.
What kind of coaching do you give influencers acting on behalf of the Harris campaign?
Talking points, resources, base language.
While Flaherty says the Harris campaign does not pay influencers directly, CBS News found a constellation of other Democratic political organizations that do. In May, Future Forward, the super PAC supporting Harris, hosted panels like Gaming the Algorithm and how advocacy can benefit your business.
In the first 100 days of a Republican presidency under Trump, Project 2025 talks about sacking thousands of civil servants.
Last month, Sane says she was hired by Protect Our Care, a progressive advocacy group that relies on anonymous donors. She made a video warning about Trump's second-term agenda.
They almost
help you script it, right?
Right, definitely.
She takes their talking points and puts them into her own voice, saying she always discloses when she's being paid.
What's your rate?
So a video just for a creator in my size, an average can go from $3,000 to $10,000 depending and upwards.
This is a bid by campaigns to create authenticity at a small scale.
University of Pittsburgh's Sam Woolley studies political influencers.
How can you tell what is a genuine grassroots expression of political opinion versus what's being paid for?
If you see multiple influencers spreading the same exact message, you can start to realize, some kind of coordination is going on.
Next up for Sunday, the Democratic National Convention.
They just told us that if we wanted to put on our own show, that they would give us all the resources to do that.
The Democrats are rolling out the red carpet.
Definitely, and I'm glad to be on it.
The beauty influencer now applying her own filter to this presidential campaign. For Eye on America, Jolene Kent, Houston.
So yeah, you just heard there that influencers are literally pimping themselves out to push propaganda. Like not authentic at all. You have to be paid $3,000 to $10,000 in order to say the things that you are saying. See, the difference between one of them getting paid and if, a Republican organization were to reach out to me to try to pay me is I've already been saying this stuff. I've already been saying the same things that I would say if I were being paid. Now, let me tell you something. If they do happen to reach out, hey, Charlie Kirk, hit me up, baby. Turning Point. Yeah, I would take a check for sure. Absolutely. Because I'm already saying this stuff. It's no different than anything that I've already been saying. These folks, she was posting about clothes and makeup. Like, what was it? Let me go back. I want to make sure I get it correct.
23-year-old Awasane made a name for herself dispensing beauty tips on TikTok.
So she's making posts about beauty tips. But then the moment a check is dangled in front of her face, oh no, we're going to talk about politics now. You see the difference? Because I know some people might have turned up their nose when I said, oh yeah, I would take a check. It's not because I would say anything different. I've already been saying this stuff. Like, it's not like I'm a beauty, talking about beauty products. And then as soon as the check is dangling in my face, oh no, I want to talk about politics now. Like, no, I've been talking about politics. I've been saying the same stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this stuff is just absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely insane. But let's continue on.
Yeah, so we had a PAC for the Kamala Harris campaign, or supporting Kamala Harris, actually is reaching out to TikTok creators and offering them large sums of money, as much as $1,500. This was just exposed by the New York Post, for them to create videos supporting Kamala and opposing Trump. This, might sound odd, but is unfortunately kind of par for the course. But what's hilarious is these PR people didn't do their research. So they reached out to Michael Dougherty, who's actually a MAGA, Trump-supporting, gay OnlyFans star. And he said, quite hilariously, that I might do OnlyFans, but I wouldn't. That doesn't mean I'll whore myself out and my values to Kamala. So it's good to know he has some standards. I think it's sad. It's really, it reeks of desperation. But that when you're bribing people to say nice things about you on the internet and just mass sending this out to anyone with a TikTok following, it does reek a little bit of desperation. But in another sense, Danica, I have to tell you, it is working. TikTok is just full of people just absolutely loving Kamala Harris, and she's become something of a cultural phenomenon, an icon among young people on this app, when they were totally disillusioned with Joe Biden. They'd lost any interest in really supporting him or going to the polls. So whether Kamala will be able to turn this kind of TikTok Gen Z momentum into electoral results largely depends on one thing: whether these kids actually show up and vote. And to be honest with you, history suggests that despite all the memes, no matter how many videos big creators make, most of them won't actually vote. Now, I disagree on one point.
I don't think that it's really taking hold too much. In a little bit of evidence of that, at least on TikTok, is Kamala Harris's social media following. Donald Trump is far outpacing her, like by leaps and bounds. Donald Trump has like 10 million. She's at 4. You know, so for me, like, does that tell the whole picture? No, of course not. But for me, that gives me a little glimpse of everything that's happening. For me, like, that says, hey, yeah, they're trying their hardest, but it's not really working, because if they were, you would see her creeping closer to Trump. I'm not saying she would catch him, but you would see there wouldn't be a 6 million person gap, follower gap, between the two. Let me double check that actually. Yeah, Trump's at 9.8, so 10 million, and I believe Kamala's at like 4. Yeah, 4.2. So 4 and 10. That's basically a 6 million follower gap. So yeah, I don't think that it's sticking at all. But here is the influencer that the gentleman was just talking about, him speaking himself.
All right, guys, time for some drag queen story hour. So about a week ago, I received this email from a group called Palette Media or Palette Management. And basically what they were asking for is $1,500 for anti-Trump content on TikTok. So they basically sent me this kind of like creator brief with all the asks that they have and everything, and like do's and don'ts, like don't show any form of support for Donald Trump and his allies, gloat about Harris and her allies, attack Trump supporters for their intellectual or personal values. So they're basically creating division and paying for division online, which is crazy. So me being me, I was like, I kind of got to investigate this stuff. So I started like emailing back and forth with the lady. So I basically said, thank you for sending over. I will review. Is this for the Kamala campaign or for like a PAX campaign? And basically I was able to investigate and find out that this is actually a campaign with Future Forward, which is kind of like one of the biggest super PACs, and they have like millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars for advertisements for the Biden campaign and for the Harris campaign. So of course I looked them up and I found out all this information about all the money that they have, and yeah, you can look up them right here. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to come on to show you guys that yes, I'll sell my booty, but I ain't gonna sell my values.
Oh my goodness. Wow, they couldn't even get him. Incredible. But hey, you know, I also want to show you guys this other big streamer named Phantom. Him and Kai Cenat are in kind of like a streaming kind of group sort of thing, if I remember correctly. So this guy is a big streamer himself, not as big as Kai, but a big streamer himself. He's well known in the streaming world, and I want you to listen to what he had to say.
I think we legal almost everywhere. But if Kamala Harris win, oh y'all niggas is cooked. I'm letting y'all know now. It's done. It's over. I hope y'all ready for all that shit. Cause I don't think they're gonna let Trump win. I'm gonna give it a buzz. I don't know how this shit got political. I don't know. But one of my dad, I don't think they're gonna let this nigga, bro.
If Kamala wins, y'all boys are cooked. Is he lying? No, he's not lying. If Kamala wins, we're pretty cooked, man. We are pretty darn cooked, and that's why we need to turn up the heat on this entire situation. But another streamer apparently has received some messages from someone involved in Kamala's campaign.
But I will tell you one thing. Yo, Kamala Harris, stop hitting my team, you and the Secret Service, to do a stream. I am not doing a stream with any politicians, bro. Yo, Secret Service, stop hitting my team.
Look for the sub.
I'm not doing any stream, bro. Stop. Doing any stream.
Did you hear what? So, like, for those of you that don't know what streaming, what it all entails. So sometimes streamers, when you donate to them, you can like type up a message to them so they can see the message. And a lot of the time, some streamers will allow those messages to be read out loud, okay, after someone donates. And what you heard there at the end was one of his followers, one of his supporters donated to him, and they typed this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Look right here on your screen. You see that? It says W Trump. And that's what you heard the
W Trump.
W Trump. You could barely hear it because he's like talking, obviously, but W Trump, meaning, Trump is good, W Trump, it's young folks language, all right? W Trump. So yeah, I found that pretty interesting too when I was watching this video clip. He's saying he's not going to do a stream with Kamala and her team and to stop hitting them up. And one of his supporters donated to him and typed in W Trump. So once again, I don't think this stuff is working. Will Kai actually do a stream? Honestly, part of me thinks he probably will honestly do a stream with Kamala eventually. I think they'll put enough pressure on him to do a stream. Will it make a whole lot of difference? No, I don't believe so. Trump already has done it. And as you heard Charlemagne say at the beginning there, it'll just look like she's copying. And I think people will call her out on it. Now, of course, her campaign will try to push back against that, but I don't think it'll work. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And I thought it was really, really interesting and desperate because they are trying their hardest to take someone who was ranked as the most unpopular vice president ever and try to make her the best thing since sliced bread. And I don't think it's going to work. But as always, we have to keep fighting. We have to keep, having these tough conversations. Share these videos. All right. Every time I push out a video, share it. It's the arrow button down below. You can send it via text. You can send it through your DMs on Instagram. You can post it on Facebook, on X. All right. Share, and hit the like button. All right. Commenting also helps. Commenting helps out. Leaving a comment helps out with the algorithm. It helps to push the video up. It lets the algorithm know people are engaging with the videos. So that's something else you guys could do. Also, if you want to take a step further, contact Scott Presler to get involved. Maybe you want to sign some people up. Try to work at some polling places. All right. So come election day, there's no shenanigans, all right? If we're in these places already, we can see what's actually happening versus just being on the outside looking in. If you're on the inside, you can see what's all happening now. Do I think they'll be able to pull it off again? No, but we should all be trying to acquire a job at one of the polling locations around, our local areas. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. Everybody should be working at one of these places. Everyone. Okay. That is very, very important. Obviously, we saw Democrats worked in the places, so we need to make sure we are also in these places as well. As always, y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.